Season 2 opens with this crazy flashback to 1967, where Dr. Thomas Godolkin, an employee of Vought and a part of Project Odessa, tried to stop a bunch of scientists from shooting an early version of Compound V up their veins. The experiment fails, killing the scientists horribly and leaving Godolkin burnt, trying to press the emergency button. Fast forward to now. Emma and Jordan get secretly sprung from that hellhole Elmira, where they'd been in for months in the middle of the night, and dumped back at God U. Who's there waiting for them? Kate? She's all, "You're welcome, I did this," but after she totally betrayed them last season, they are not having it. And get this, Jordan drops the bomb that Andre is dead. Apparently he didn't make it out of that rehab facility, probably tortured or experimented on. This leaves Kate shocked. Then this new PR lady, Stacy, makes them parrot some garbage statement that completely clears their names, but blames the whole campus massacre on Indira Shetty, their former human dean, and her heinous experiments in the woods. In anger, at having to lie and having no choice of their own, Jordan confronts Kate again, this time asking of Marie's whereabouts. Kate claims Marie just poofed after escaping the facility, and insists she made a deal to get them back safely. It gets worse when they are forced to attend an address by the new dean, Cypher, who falsely claims that every trace of the virus cooked up in the woods has been destroyed. We know Butcher has it though. Cypher reinforces this lie with hateful rhetoric against humans, and race traitors like Starlight. On getting back to their dorm, Jordan and Emma try to figure out who Cypher is, and what his powers are, but he's a blank slate. Emma, being the good soul she is, goes to tell Polarity his son is dead. Polarity is super hostile, because he already knows. Emma tries to warn him that Cypher, who she thinks she saw at Elmira, is the new dean and likely killed Andre, but Polarity just tells her to quit and run away. But we know Emma isn't one to back down, because, in her opinion, Andre wouldn't have wanted her to. Kate, who is actually upset about Andre's death, confronts Cypher. When she threatens him with Homelander and controlling his mind, Cypher retaliates by nearly sticking her one hand, since Marie blew the other off, in a blender. He then orders a terrified Kate to go find Marie. Not wanting to be Lady No Hands, she crashes a house party where Sam, Jordan, and Emma are in attendance. Emma has a falling out with Sam, and that's how Sam learns that Andre is dead. Shocked, he confronts Kate about it, leading to instantly using her power to make Sam forget it. Due to her interaction with Sam, Emma has a nervous breakdown, which causes her to shrink, consequently allowing her to get a lid on Marie's whereabouts. So where is Marie? Well, she's living rough in motels, eating cheap food, and still searching for her sister Annabeth. She sees Emma and Jordan's scripted TV interview about the massacre and feels completely betrayed. The next day, Marie sees some Homelander minions harassing Starlighter fans. Ever the hero, she intervenes, exposing her powers, which she's not supposed to do considering she was on the run and all that. With the news of the squabble, Vought immediately sends a soup named Dognot to sniff her out, literally. When he finds Marie, she puts up a fight, but Dognot overpowers her until, drumroll, Starlight shows up out of nowhere and knocks Dognot out. Starlight, who is tipped off by her fans, has a proposition. She wants Marie to go back to God U and find info on Project Odessa to help bring down Homelander. But because of her search for her sister, Marie is hesitant. Later that day, following the lead Emma got, she and Jordan find Marie, and their reunion is anything but sweet, since they get into an argument about parroting God U's PR-mandated statements as well as Andre's death, which happened while he was trying to make an escape route for Emma, Jordan, and himself. Just as things are heated, Kate barges in, telling them they have to go back to school to avoid Vought's wrath. Jordan, completely freaking out at Kate's outstretched hand, we know the damage that hand can cause, sends Kate flying into an electric junction box. Kate starts bleeding out. Marie tries to save her, but Jordan physically stops her, convinced Kate will try to manipulate her even as she dies. So what do? They leave Kate in the alley to bleed to death. Immediately after the attack on Kate, Emma records a totally fake, public-facing speech by Marie to secure their re-entry and immunity at God U. Jordan initially suggests they run, but Emma argues that returning to the college is their best option to weather the storm, since Vought would easily recapture them anyway. Marie's video works, landing her in the new Dean Cypher's office. The shady dean reveals a significant twist about Andre's death. Andre didn't get caught running. He had the same genetic condition as his father, which was worsened by his powers. Andre sacrificed himself, pushing his abilities past the breaking point to ensure Emma and Jordan's escape. Cypher then subtly threatens Marie, advising her to keep an eye on Emma and Jordan after the attack on Kate, confirming his suspicion of their involvement. Sam, who had grown very close to Kate, immediately suspects the trio is responsible for her injury when he learns of their return. Emma, hilariously, suggests they actually kill Kate to dispel suspicion, a plan Marie quickly vetoes. Instead, they pivot their focus to investigating Project Odessa, a task given to Marie by Starlighter. While the trio debates, Sam visits Kate in the hospital, and she goes violently unstable, using her puppeting power on an attendant to attack everyone. Kate only manages to utter Emma's name, leading Sam to mistakenly believe Emma was the attacker. Dognut kills the Starlighter fan Marie protected earlier, and frames him as Kate's attacker. This clears Marie, Emma, and Jordan's names in the eyes of the public and Vought, but at the cost of an innocent man's life. With the immediate threat of being outed as Kate's attackers neutralized, their focus shifts fully to Vaught's hidden agenda. The team is now working under the new regime. Polarity surprisingly takes Emma's advice and joins God Yu as the Associate Dean, Rue, going undercover to investigate Cypher and uncover the real cause of Andre's death. In a social media class, Emma learns the true reason for their return. Vought is using her massive social following to push an anti-Starlighter agenda and frame Starlight as the one who attacked Kate. Marie, understanding the strategy, spends every waking minute creating videos dedicated to Kate. Marie and Jordan are having an awkward time after Marie professed her love to them, but Jordan looks weirded out when Stacy, a soup whose power is a bee stinger, she literally coughs out honey by the way, buzzes into Marie's room and orders them to a hero optimization seminar. It's a high-stakes, life-or-death power class run by Cypher, designed to fine-tune their abilities. The first test involves fighting the super-strong V-Core and making their way to the other end of the room, which proves nearly impossible since V-Core is almost indestructible. At one point, Marie tries to stop his heart, but he just punches his own chest to restart it. Eventually, Jordan manages to hit the escape button, saving the students. Cypher seems pleased with the near-death experience and tells the surviving students they have potential. While in the archives, Emma runs into Rufus harassing a barista. After popping some pills, she meets Polarity to begin researching Project Odessa. The initial documents are useless, but Emma's pill-enhanced senses uncover a secret room. Polarity metal bends the door open to reveal a horrifying Nazi white supremacy shrine. Inside, Emma finds a folder labeled Project Odessa, containing baby birth and death certificates. Just as she's piecing it together, the pills cause her to briefly turn into a giant. Once back to normal size, she's cornered by Sam, but Emma manages to reason with him, making him realize he isn't thinking straight and needs to wake up from Kate's influence. He eventually snaps out of it. When the team looks through the files recovered from the Nazi shrine, Marie finds her own birth certificate, confirming that she's somehow connected to Vaught's sketchy 1967 experiments. After the big reveal, Marie, Jordan, and Emma are looking through those Project Odessa files at Polarity's house. Everyone except Marie draws the same shocking conclusion. Since Marie is the sole survivor of the program, she is Odessa. Emma instantly wants to tell Starlight, but Jordan warns them off. Why would Starlight send Marie to investigate a project she's secretly the subject of? It feels far too convenient. Determined to find out more, Marie tries to reach out to Pam, the family friend who abandoned Marie after their parents' death and tried to adopt her sister Annabeth. Pam claims she doesn't know where Annabeth is. Disappointed, Marie then brings up the mysterious photo she found in the Odessa folder, a picture of Pam with Marie's parents. Pam states she knew nothing about Project Odessa. What she did know was that Marie was conceived at a clinic at Godolkin University. Marie's parents tried for years to have a baby, but IVF was too expensive. Luckily, Vought stepped in to help, and that is how Marie is born. Annabeth, however, was conceived naturally, without any medical intervention. The most shocking reveal, though, is when Pam identified Cypher as the doctor who delivered Marie, revealing his original name is Dr. Gold. The conversation goes from revealing to nasty when Marie discovers Pam lied and did know where Annabeth was. Marie rightfully flips out, tearfully calling Pam out for her moral hypocrisy, stating it was not her fault her parents decided to shoot her up with V. Before leaving, she demands Pam at least tell Annabeth her sister is looking for her. Kate is back from brain surgery and is immediately mobbed by fans. Her handler, Stacy, the one with the bee stinger, rescues her but starts swamping her with info about her huge schedule and the upcoming Godolkin Day event, but fails to notice Kate quietly saying her powers are probably gone. Tensions explode when Kate, Stacy, Marie, Jordan, and Emma run into each other. Stacy quickly shuffles Kate, Jordan, and Marie into one of Cypher's hero optimization classes to avoid a fight. In the class, Marie outperforms nearly everyone, prompting Cypher to criticize the entire class for their lack of improvement. After dismissing the students, Cypher shares an odd piece of advice with Marie. She needs to learn to use her powers without cutting her hands. Marie is disturbed, but Jordan rationalizes it. Maybe Cypher is giving her extra care because she is Odessa. Before they could discuss any further, Jordan is dragged away to explain their role in the Godolkin Day event. Jordan doesn't want to be part of the charade, but Stacy makes it clear: participate or go back to Elmira. The poor barista at the cafeteria is still getting tormented by a soup, bigot over his pro-Starlight Flyers. Ever the sweet gal, Emma is determined to stop this invisible activist, who seems to be a speedster, so during class when she notices spray paint on her classmate Harper's hands, she drags her into a closet. Defeated, Harper confesses her real power is mimicking other Soup's abilities for 1 minute after touching them. That's how she was speedrunning the campus vandalism. Emma convinces Harper and her roommate Allie that their resist spray painting is pointless and promises to help them stage a bigger, better protest. Go Emma. After failing to intimidate Emma into confessing the truth of who hurt her, Kate goes to Cypher demanding he tell Vought that Marie, Emma, and Jordan are the real perpetrators of her attack. Amused, Cypher counters that doing so means admitting Kate's powers are gone. She would be deemed as useless as a human, and discarded. If Kate wants to avoid being thrown out, she needs to get her powers back. Disgruntled, she turns to leave, when she spots a mysterious-looking Vault in the room. Back in her dorm, Kate's fragile peace is shattered when Sam bursts in. The mind wipe control is wearing off, and he is going stir-crazy, seeing puppets and whatnot. Unfortunately, Kate can't help him. Her powers are indeed gone. Angered by this, Sam starts trashing his room. Jordan shows up, and the two end up in a full-on brawl. Jordan eventually calms Sam down, and gets him high on weed. They even have this sweet moment that almost makes you forget Sam is a total murderer. Finally, the whole college gathers for Godolkin Day. Before taking the stage for the corporate speech, Jordan tells Marie they love her. Oh, but then, Jordan gets to the podium and immediately goes off script, spilling the whole truth about Andre's death and Vaught's lies. The crowd is stunned, but the final shocker is the biggest. Jordan confesses to everyone that they are the one who assaulted Kate and almost killed her. The entire campus instantly turns against Jordan. What a way to commit career suicide. In an expected reaction to Jordan's epic confession at Godolkin Day, the corporate bigwigs at Vought go into full panic mode. Their immediate clapback is to order Firecracker, Kate, and Justine to release nasty statements, pushing the lie that people like Jordan, specifically trans people, are dangerous, even though Jordan isn't trans. To distract the public from the controversy, God U drags in Seth Reed, one half of Vaught's ridiculous PR duo. His solution is Peak Spectacle, a trashy, WWE-style cage match between Marie and Jordan. In this situation, Marie is supposed to be the good guy and win, giving the crowd their sweet, satisfying revenge and crushing Jordan's anti-Vought message. Cypher, though, is weirdly intense about the fight. He insists the fight won't be scripted because he's certain Marie can legitimately defeat Jordan, telling her she is more powerful than she knows, further fueling the theory that Marie is being engineered to replace Homelander. The threat is simple. If they don't fight, both Jordan and Emma go back to Elmira, thus making Jordan agree to the deal. On getting back to the dorm, the trio quickly formulates a new plan. Marie's desperate idea. They need Kate. Even though she isn't trustworthy, they figure she can mind control Cypher into giving up his secrets about Project Odessa. Determined, Jordan and Marie head to Kate, while Emma goes for a smoke session with Harper and Allie, whose power is controlling her own pubic hair, which is, so weird. Emma is hoping to pick up tips on controlling her size-shifting powers from Harper, who managed to mimic the ability without relying on Emma's dangerous eating disorder habits. When Jordan and Marie let Kate in on their not-so-brilliant idea, Kate shuts down the idea fast. Cypher is too hard to get a clean read on. Instead, she points them toward the newly installed vault that she had noticed in his house as a better source of leverage. While Marie is forced into training with Cypher, where she somehow ends up killing a goat named Elon Musk, LOL, and trying to levitate one named Julia Fox, Jordan and Kate break into Cypher's house. This is where Kate's powers come back, but they are totally glitchy. She tries to compel Cypher's security guard to hand over the keys, but the poor guy just goes insane and starts performing sexual acts on a garden gnome. Kate uses the distraction to snatch the keys, and they rush into the vault. Inside, they find a hyperbaric chamber with a severely burnt man inside. Jordan quickly takes a picture, and as the flash goes off, the guy in the tank wakes up, sending Jordan and Kate flying out the door in a panic. During training, Cypher reveals he knows Marie discovered his connection to Project Odessa and her birth. He flat out admits God U's true purpose is to create a soup stronger than Homelander, and he genuinely believes Marie is the chosen one. But Marie has a counter theory. She finds out Cypher has no compound V in his blood. He's just a normal human. She deduces that the man in the tank is likely his father, injured by soups, and Cypher's whole mission is revenge, grooming a powerful soup to take out the others. Cypher wants to meet Kate about the break-in, which he figured out by watching the security camera, and Marie, seeing this as an opportunity to force a confession on camera, urges Kate to meet with him. The new plan is perfect. Kate meets Cypher. Emma, with the help of Harper, Greg, and Allie, crawls through the grossest, nastiest water pipes to plant a hidden camera, and Marie and Jordan create the ultimate public distraction by stopping the fight. Everything goes according to script. Emma gets the camera in place. Kate gets Cypher to talk about his humanity. The audience is ready for his confession, but then comes the unbelievable twist. Cypher reveals he is a soup after all. He immediately detects and pockets the camera, then gets to his true reveal. Marie and Jordan, in a glorious act of defiance, have already stopped fighting and shared a passionate kiss in front of the crowd, sending a powerful message of love over hate. But Cypher, the ultimate puppet master, just twiddles his fingers and mind controls Jordan from afar, forcing them to attack Marie. Marie is left with no choice. She has to fight back and incapacitate Jordan, fulfilling Vought's hateful, tragic script anyway. A month earlier, we see Cypher tending to his injured father, the bruised man from the hyperbaric chamber. The session is interrupted by Sister Sage, the hyper-intelligent soup who helped fuel Homelander's rise. It's clear they're in a relationship, which strongly suggests Sage is working a terrifying backup plan in case Homelander finally goes off the rails. Back in the present, Marie and Jordan are a mess after their forced, public fight. Jordan is sickened that their body was a puppet for Cypher's mind control, and terrified that Marie, in her fury, would have ripped them apart like the goat, Elon Musk, she killed in training. Right when they're about to explode at each other, Cypher walks in, with his signature creepy wisdom. He praises Marie's rapid growth, pushing her to continue toward becoming the most powerful soup in the world. Marie wants nothing to do with him, but Cypher keeps her in line by pointing to the genuine threat of Elmira. Proving he means business, he reveals Kate has already been sent back to the rehab facility for trying to dig up dirt on him, serving as a brutal lesson to the others. Kate, though, tries to escape the moment she arrives at Elmira, but is quickly fitted with a shock collar before being thrown into her cell. To deal with the stress, Emma suggests drowning their sorrows with drinks. Jordan is on board, but Marie is adamant. They must rescue Kate. Not caring, Emma rejects the idea, arguing Kate deserves a taste of the suffering they endured in Elmira. Marie quickly shuts that down. She points out that Kate is only in jail because she helped them. She reminds Emma that Kate risked everything to strike a deal to free the whole group, including Andre, after Marie first escaped. Marie delivers the ultimate guilt trip. Can Emma live with herself if Kate dies in Elmira? That's the key, and Emma finally agrees. Before they leave, Marie explains how she made her first escape by targeting a wounded guard, using his blood to incapacitate him, and crawling out through an air vent. Jordan and Emma point out that security will be miles better now, and the guards will be ready for them at the exit. Emma makes a final, desperate attempt to recruit Sam, hoping he still cares about Kate, but he rejects them. He says he's free of Kate's control and focused on his family. As time runs out, Marie, Jordan, and Emma prepare to leave. Greg, Allie's brother, spots them, and Emma, trusting him for some reason, tells him the highly confidential truth about their rescue mission. We finally see Sam after a good minute, reuniting with his parents, Ted and Janet, who are completely stunned. Why, you ask? Well, Vought had convinced them Sam was dead. They even held a funeral with a fake corpse, with Ted tearfully explaining they barely held on after Sam's fake death, and Luke's real one. On finding out later that Sam was alive, Vought tried to spin the whole thing as a simple misidentification error. His parents also revealed Vought lied to them, saying Sam didn't want to see them, thanks to Kate's earlier mind control. As Ted finishes his story, Sam spots his mom through the window making a phone call. His trust is zero, and he instantly assumes she's calling Vought. Despite her desperate protest that she's only ordering a pizza, Sam destroys the phone, shoving his father away and sending him flying when his dad tries to step in. The tension breaks when Janet reveals the painful truth about Sam's mind. Sam believes Compound V caused his schizophrenia, but Janet tearfully explains that his condition is genetic, passed down from her. In a moment of surprising maturity and calm, Sam accepts the revelation and comforts his mother, telling her not to blame herself. It's a huge, unexpected step toward healing for him. While all this is going on, Polarity is having lunch with Cypher, trying to subtly squeeze some dirt out of him. Cypher casually reveals he knows Polarity and Emma were in the archives, looking for information. He dodges the accusation, thrown by Polarity, instead saying Marie is destined to change the world. Polarity then goes for the throat, asking point blank about Andre's death. Andre didn't just die trying to escape. Cypher confesses that Andre's death was a direct result of the deadly experiments Cypher was conducting on him. The revelation sends Polarity into a rage. He reaches for a knife, but Cypher grabs it and stabs his own hand to prove he's fearless. He tells Polarity to finish his lunch and leaves for a Zoom call. Alone, Polarity suffers a massive seizure while looking at family photos, confirming he's past his breaking point and is a dangerous, dying man. Marie, Emma, and Jordan successfully break into Elmira, only to discover Marie's old air vent is now filled with cement. The security intentionally allowed them to find the blocked vent, buying the guards time to trap them. Kate, upon seeing them, is stunned that they actually came for her. The focus shifts to the CCTV room, where Cypher is watching with Sister Sage, whom he congratulates on becoming the CEO of Vought. Their conversation suggests they may be planning to overthrow Homelander. Cypher then visits Marie's cell, offering one last choice: work with him or watch her friends rot. When Marie refuses, Cypher plays his final, cruel hand. He takes Marie to a cell holding Annabeth, the sister Marie has been searching for, knowing this is Marie's biggest weakness. When Marie fights her way out, her shock collar is activated, and she is slammed back into her cell. To help her friends, Kate desperately removes a surgical stapler pin from her own skull and uses it as a key to deactivate her shock collar. Kate, now free, escapes and frees her friends. They reach Annabeth's cell, only to find Annabeth with a slit throat, dead. This final, devastating trauma triggers Marie. As the cell activates her shock collar, Cypher's constant assurance that she can perform miracles takes over. Marie uses her powers to fix Annabeth's fatal wound, a powerful use of blood manipulation that sends a painful shockwave through her friends and brings her sister back to life. Annabeth, still reeling from the shock of Marie's miracle, immediately shows the first flash of her own power, precognition, the power to predict future events, making her instinctively pinpoint the exact spot where Sam will arrive. Sam shows up just in the nick of time, finally answering Emma's earlier plea for help by breaking the walls of the prison, literally, stealing one of Elmira's security vans, and allowing the crew to escape without being shot. Once they put distance between the group and the prison, Jordan smartly orders Sam to ditch his phones so Vought can't track them. The shock of the resurrection quickly gives way to a heated argument about their next move. Go into hiding in Canada, head home, or try to return to the college? The bickering causes Annabeth to spiral into a panic attack, causing Marie to make the decision. They will find a safe place to dump the van, get a change of clothes, grab food, and lay low. The crew finds sanctuary in an abandoned community library. While exploring, Sam and Emma find the control room, which has a working computer and a landline phone. Since none of the younger generation memorizes numbers, the phone is useless. Having no other choice, Emma logs into Instagram on the computer and sends an SOS to Allie and Harper. Marie finally asks Annabeth the burning question: when did she become a soup? Everyone believed Marie was the only one who received Compound V at the Godolkin clinic, but Annabeth's precognitive abilities prove that to be a lie. Annabeth doesn't remember that time and has never told anyone, even Pam, about her powers. Annabeth states she wants to go back to Pam, but Marie points out the obvious danger. Vought or Elmira will simply capture her and use her as bait. News of the escape reaches Cypher, who completely loses it, taking his rage out on the poor, powerless, burnt body of the man in the hyperbaric chamber. He goes to Polarity's house, expecting Marie to call. He wants Polarity to relay a message: return to campus to work with him, and her friends and sister will live. Further turning up the heat, he brings up Andre's death, admitting that he tried to reverse the damage to Andre's brain using science but failed, realizing that science has its limits. Cypher then reveals his twisted motive. He believes Marie is the miracle cure who can fix anything, including Polarity's own severe brain damage and seizures. Polarity, however, puts Marie and her friend's safety above his own life and continues to refuse. Just as Harper calls Polarity, directed by Emma's earlier SOS, Cypher seizes control of Polarity's body and mind and uses him to ruthlessly extract the group's location from Harper. Our protagonists, still in the library waiting for feedback, are attacked by Vicor, a direct result of Harper unknowingly giving up their location. As Vicor assaults everyone, Kate, Annabeth, and Emma are forced to hide, their powers useless against the powerhouse. Marie, Jordan, and Sam try desperately to subdue him but are no match. Just as they face certain defeat, the cavalry arrives. Zoe Neumann and Stan Edgar appear out of nowhere. Zoe uses her terrifying blood tentacles to kill Vicor. With their location compromised, Stan advises everyone to come with him to his safe house, a deep, secure bunker, impervious to X-ray vision. Stan explains he learned about Marie from Victoria Neumann, before Butcher killed her, and tracked Vicor to get to the group. Then comes the biggest bombshell. Stan is interested in Marie because she is the second living subject of Project Odessa. The first being, yes, you guessed right, Homelander. Stan reveals that Dr. Godolkin, not Cypher, is the original creator of the program, which started in the 60s to produce god-tier soups. Through in vitro fertilization, Compound V was introduced to test subjects at the blastocyst phase, when the embryo is just a hollow mass of cells, leaving only 2 survivors. Homelander in the 80s and Marie in the 2000s. This revelation puts Marie's power level on par with Homelander's. Stan further explains that Cypher agrees with Dr. Godolkin's work, but wants to create a soup supremacist world, while Godolkin just aims to control all soups. Stan shut down Project Odessa until Marie killed her parents, proving the project was a success. Stan assumes Cypher painfully recreated Godolkin's work, which was supposedly destroyed in a fire. This detail triggers a realization in Kate and Jordan. They remember seeing the real burned Dr. Godolkin in Cypher's hyperbaric chamber. This new information changes Stan's plan. He initially wanted Marie's loyalty, but now he wants to access the living Dr. Godolkin to learn how to control all soups, believing Godolkin can teach him how to build a soup-controlling device. During these heavy discussions, Emma and an apologetic Sam bond, Annabeth and Zoe connect over their shared loss of innocence, and Jordan and Marie fiercely debate whether Stan can be trusted. Cypher receives word of Vicor's failure. After using Polarity's body to force him to hurt himself repeatedly, Cypher explains his twisted ideology. He recalls kangaroo culling in Australia. He chillingly states he wants to reduce the school's population by 75%, culling the herd by killing the weak soups. Before he can detail his method, Polarity fights back, flinging Cypher through the window. Stunned, Polarity checks where Cypher landed, but the dean is gone. Tired of her loved ones getting hurt, Marie leaves Stan's hideout in the middle of the night, with Kate trailing behind her hoping to be healed. Marie intends to get to Dr. Godolkin before Stan does, and uncover Cypher's endgame before he can cull the herd. The moment Marie and Kate sneak away from the safe house, Annabeth is hit with a terrifying vision, Marie lying in a pool of blood. Waking up in a panic, she alerts the others, convinced Marie is walking toward her death. Jordan, bummed at Marie abandoning them yet again, borrows Stan's car so they can catch up. As Marie and Kate pull up to Cypher's residence, Kate warns Marie that infiltrating the house without her powers could get them overpowered, but Marie refuses, her distrust of Kate running too deep. Inside, they find neither Cypher nor Godolkin. Instead, they find a recovering Polarity, who quickly explains Cypher's twisted plan to cull the herd and kill any soup he deems weak. Also, Polarity reveals that his powers allow him to push back against Cypher's mind-controlling abilities. Just then, Cypher, who's actually holed up in the God U basement with Godolkin, mumbling about how Polarity's magnetic brainwaves somehow hid him from his powers, gets a security alert from his home CCTV, stopping him right before he kills Godolkin. Seeing Marie, Kate, and Polarity in his house makes him happy, exclaiming that Marie has returned just as Sage predicted, restoring his twisted faith in his scheme. Unawares that Cypher was unto them, Marie shares their theory. Cypher is holding Godolkin hostage, and freeing him will help them take down Cypher. A bit skeptical, Polarity argues that Godolkin might be even more dangerous than Cypher or Homelander, and freeing him from his charred state might backfire. He thinks their best bet is handling Cypher themselves. When Marie and Kate point out Polarity's bad health, he tries to prove he's fine, but suffers a massive seizure on the spot. Marie steps in and performs her healing miracle, restoring Polarity's brain. Polarity is instantly overwhelmed with gratitude. The newly formed trio heads to Cypher's office at God U, finding it empty. Marie says she can't track anyone's heartbeat due to the campus crowd. Polarity suggests restoring Kate's powers so she can read minds to figure out where Cypher is, but Marie refuses, unwilling to trust Kate with that much power again. Knowing that they're there, Cypher calls his desk phone, inviting Marie for a final training session that will guarantee her friend's freedom. Marie lashes out, accusing him of killing Annabeth just to boost her powers. Cypher simply shrugs, hangs up, and insists on the training. As Jordan and Annabeth hurtle toward God U, they bond over their shared experiences of not wanting to embrace their powers initially, finally understanding each other. Emma shrinks into Sam's pocket as he Hulk jumps onto campus. Getting there, Sam is immediately cornered by Rufus and Black Hole, the soup, with an actual black hole in his rear, who force him to take part in Hell Week by torturing a freshman named Hample. The poor kid was literally expelled from Black Hole's backside and is now forced to act as Sam's loyal dog. As Annabeth steps onto campus, she sees the terrifying bloody vision again. She and Jordan realize Marie is heading for her death at the seminar hall. They, along with Sam, Emma, Greg, and Hample, rush to intercept Marie, Polarity, and Kate just outside the doors. With Marie figuring out Godolkin is in the basement due to a weak heartbeat, she decides to go in. Frantic, the whole group tries to talk Marie out of it, but she is too determined. Annabeth breaks down, making a heartbreaking confession. She knew their parents would die before Marie accidentally killed them, but she couldn't communicate the vision. She has been masking her guilt for years by blaming Marie. Now, with a chance to save her sister, she begs Marie not to go in. Marie understands their love and fear, but her resolve to free Godolkin, who she believes will bring down Homelander, is stronger. In a devastating move she uses her advanced blood powers to incapacitate Sam, Greg, Emma, and Jordan. She then asks Kate to mind control them to leave, but Kate, showing her own change of heart, refuses to take over her friends' minds again. Marie enters the seminar building alone, telling Polarity to keep Cypher busy while she locates Godolkin. Inside the seminar hall, Polarity, Greg, Sam, and Jordan attempt to take down Cypher. Predictably, Cypher immediately puppeteers Sam, Greg, and Jordan, forcing them to brutally beat Polarity. With the fight ongoing, Marie reaches the basement and begins healing Godolkin. Right as her work is done, Polarity lets out a massive magnetic pulse upstairs, knocking down everyone, including Cypher. Polarity grabs a sword and approaches the downed man to behead him. Before Polarity can strike, Cypher makes a chilling, truthful revelation. He is actually Doug, a human vessel who has been puppeteered by the real antagonist, Thomas Godolkin, all along. Doug is human and lacks Compound V because he was never the actual mastermind. Simultaneously, in the basement, a fully healed Godolkin steps off the stretcher. He begins rambling to Marie, Kate, Emma, and Annabeth about Sister Sage's plan, his chronic pain, and how Marie has freed him to carry out his plan to cull the herd. With his talk of culling the herd, Kate realizes the horrifying truth. Godolkin is the one who has been Cypher. They need to get away from him instantly. As they escape, Godolkin walks out of the basement and immediately encounters the innocent Hampel. When Hampel reveals his power, turning his feet into hands, Godolkin labels him as useless and compels Hampel to kill himself. Godolkin then walks into the playground, intent on slaughtering all the non-essential soups. We flash back to 1967 again to see what really happened in the lab. Trapped in a lab fire with colleagues who had all juiced up on early Compound V, Godolkin injects himself out of desperation. Did he get cool powers? Nope, just painful, agonizing boils that the fire made worse. Fast forward to the present. Godolkin is finally free of his charred body and his human puppet, Doug, and he's loving life with Sister Sage, accepting her offer to move into her Vought Tower apartment. Sage, however, is immediately preoccupied with how to introduce him to Homelander without provoking the unstable soup. Godolkin interrupts her brilliant planning to announce he's going back to campus for one last class. Sage objects strongly, but you can't talk an evil genius out of his ideas. Godolkin makes a seriously extra arrival, hijacking God-used social media to declare his presence, resetting the hero rankings to 0, and calling all students to the seminar hall. His goal is no longer to hunt them individually. He's forcing a massive confrontation, a hero optimization seminar, where students have to publicly show their powers to be judged and offered Vought deals. This is his new strategy for culling the herd. Godolkin's poor human puppet, Doug, is recovering at Polarity's house, violently ill from the beatdown he took. The whole crew, Polarity, Marie, Kate, Emma, Jordan, and Sam, immediately starts asking the important questions. Polarity, ever the smart one, points out that Doug, a regular guy, should still be in his 90s. Doug reveals he's the second puppet, explaining that the first, Dr. Fielder, summoned him, and then Godolkin, once in Doug's mind, made him kill Fielder. Emma arrives with a sorry excuse for first aid, and Marie attempts to heal him with her blood powers but is too exhausted. Annabeth asks why Godolkin used Doug to train Marie instead of just possessing her. Doug confirms that Godolkin, even through Cypher, failed to control Marie's mind at Elmira because she is simply too powerful, a clear sign that Marie is one of the world's most formidable soups. The interrogation ends when Doug's health takes a nosedive. Worried, Polarity decides to take Doug to a friend for help, while ordering the students to return to campus and lay low. Naturally, the students arrive back at Marie's dorm and realize they are now hiding in Godolkin's lair. Kate argues they have no better options. Marie then does the unthinkable. She takes Kate's hands and fully restores her powers. This signals both Marie's trust and her responsibility in wielding her own abilities. Their therapy session is ruined when Sam and Jordan relay Godolkin's seminar invitation. Marie tries to bypass the trap by warning everyone via social media, while Emma and Sam head to the frat house to do the same. But Rufus uses his roofie power to stop them, determined to get to the seminar himself. Hilariously, Black Hole, yes, the butt guy, decides the seminar just isn't his style and stays behind. On the way to Polarity's friend, Doug is fondly recalling how Andre used to annoy Cypher and the Elmira staff. It's a sweet, brief moment that is immediately and brutally shattered by Black Noir, who appears out of nowhere, drives his sword through the car's roof, and kills Doug instantly. Black Noir then smoke grenades Polarity's car and apprehends the helpless soup after, of course, taking a quick selfie. Godolkin, already pushing himself to his limits, begins the culling. He coldly informs them he will walk to the blast doors and push the button to open them. Their only chance is to stop him or die trying. Sage, watching from afar, is shocked. This was not part of her careful plan. As Godolkin ruthlessly fights his way through the kids, she can only watch. One student with teleportation powers manages to escape and warns Marie and Jordan about the massacre. Hearing this, Marie feels she has no choice but to confront Godolkin, but Jordan, consumed by fear, begs her to find another way. Marie recognizes the fear of abandonment in Jordan's plea and apologizes. Jordan accepts the apology but, in the same breath, breaks up with her, saying they just don't want to be angry at Marie anymore. The agonizing moment is interrupted by the arrival of the rest of the crew, who snap them back to the immediate danger. Godolkin, reveling in his success even with his boils back, explains to Sage that he's pushing for a power evolution that will let him control not just Marie but also Homelander when she questions the plan. Ignoring her pleas, Godolkin puppeteers all the injured students in the hall. Realizing the danger, Sage secretly frees Polarity from where he's being kept by Black Noir, knowing his newfound resistance to mind control makes him the only one who can stop this insanity. The second group of students, including the surprisingly cautious Black Hole, enters the hall, and Godolkin forces the first possessed batch to attack them. Kate, using her restored powers, mind controls a student named Vance to open the doors one last time for Marie. This genuinely startles Godolkin. Seeing her opening, Marie attacks. Godolkin retaliates by unleashing all the students' wrath. Immediately, Marie unveils her secret weapon, Black Hole, who has been storing literally everyone in his butt dimension. With Marie's allies fighting, Godolkin starts to lose ground. Emma knocks him down, Allie traps him with her weird bush power, and Harper copies Godolkin's ability, momentarily controlling him and freeing the possessed students. While Godolkin recovers, Marie and her friends usher the injured out. Marie then confronts Godolkin, backed by her newly strengthened crew. This proves to be a mistake. As Marie uses Godolkin's blood to levitate him, he gets into her mind, turning her against her friends. Just in time, Polarity finally arrives and unleashes a powerful pulse blast that knocks down both Marie and Godolkin. As Marie regains her senses, Polarity pelts the weakened Godolkin with every piece of metal debris he can find. When Godolkin is completely vulnerable, Marie pays a bloody homage to Victoria Neumann and explodes Godolkin's head. With Godolkin dead, Polarity urges Marie to flee, warning that Vought is on their way. He stays behind, reasoning that, as the acting dean, he can control the narrative and keep Vought off the students' backs. Emma is worried to leave him, but he promises to keep fighting the good fight and honor Andre. The season ends far from God U. Marie, Annabeth, Kate, Jordan, Sam, and Emma make a stop and gets a surprise visit from Annie, Starlight, and A-Train, who invite them to join the Resistance fighting Homelander's fascist forces. The former God U students accept but propose merging their own resistance with Starlight's, understanding that total freedom will only come once Vought is completely destroyed.